guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a massive birthday month book haul. My last book haul I said that I wasn't going to be doing another book haul anytime soon because I, wanted to save money. Still valid. So what I have here is mostly like birthday gifts and stuff like that. There's a couple, no, I think it is all mostly birthday gifts. Okay, so I'm just gonna get started and it's gonna take me a while to get through all of them. I'm not gonna give a synopsis for a lot of these. A lot of people on BookTube already know what they're gonna be about for the most part. So I'm just gonna run through it real quick. Let's do this. So the first book that I got is City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I've heard great things about this. The cover is absolutely beautiful. I've already started reading it because my bookmark's in it. I wanna hopefully finish this by the end of this month. And I am just so incredibly excited to finally get into this world because I've heard nothing but good things about it. Next is a book that I've actually already finished. It's a book of the month book. I mean, it's sold elsewhere also, but this copy is a book of the month book, and it is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Sorry, my phone is going off in the background. Beach Read by Emily Henry is like a rom-com kind of enemies to lovers romance about two authors who end up they're rivals, and then they end up switching and writing each other's genre because they're both writer blocked in their own genre. And then they fall in love. Next up, I have A Blade So Black by L.L. McKinney, right? Yes? Yeah. L.L. McKinney. I don't know much about this. I just know that it is an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and I don't generally like Alice in Wonderland or its retellings for the most part, honestly. But I've heard really, really awesome things about this, so I'm excited to see if I'm going to end up liking this one as well. Next up is a Book of the Month book again. My father-in-law actually got me a Book of the Month subscription for my birthday, and we've gone through a couple of those months already. So Head Over Heels by Hannah Orenstein. I hope I'm saying that right. As far as I know, it is about a gymnast or an ex-gymnast who becomes a coach and falls in love with somebody on that journey. It's got gymnastics and it's got romance, and I love like the Olympic level sport type like romances. I just think they're so awesome and so different from what I'm used to experiencing. I loved From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata, and I'm really excited to get into this. Next up, I have Mirage, and this is by, I'm gonna say this horribly wrong, Samaya Dowd. I hope that that's somewhere in the realm of being correct. I don't know much about this other than that it is about a girl and a princess who look alike, and I think that the girl ends up taking the princess's place because of death threats, maybe? Maybe that's totally wrong. Oh, no, okay, yep, that was right. Yeah, she takes the place of the princess because the princess has received death threats and they're putting her in her place in case somebody succeeds. She would be the one to die instead. I've heard some mixed reviews about it, but I am really excited to see if I'm going to like it because that premise sounds so cool to me. Next up, I have Fireborn by Rosaria Munda, and I know that this is like politics heavy. I know that there's dragons. I don't know too much about it other than that. I do know that Elliot from Elliot Brooks's channel was just raving about this in a review, and she could not say enough good things about it, so I'm really excited to check it out and see if I agree. My next two books are in a series, and that is Truth Witch and Wind Witch. And now that I'm thinking about it, I am really hoping that this is the first and second book because I haven't read them yet. I know this is the first book. I hope this is the second book. We'll see. And I don't know too much about them other than that there are badass witches involved. But yeah, I mean, do I need to know more? That sounds really cool on its own. Next up, I managed to find, somehow, a signed copy of Wildcard by Marie Lu. I really liked Warcross by Marie Lu. It was actually the first book of hers that I really loved. I wasn't a huge fan of the Legend series. I don't think I ever actually finished the first book in the Legend series. So I was really surprised to find that I liked Wildcard, and I cannot wait to pick up the sequel and find out what happens because if I remember correctly, it left off on a cliffhanger. Next up is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I have actually already read and completed this series, and I really, really loved it, so I really wanted my physical copies, and this is the first book in the series. And you follow Nova and Aiden, who are kind of like opposing sides of the spectrum. One of them is a traditional villain, and one of them is a traditional hero, and the villain, Nova, kind of infiltrates the heroes. Corporation is not a correct word. They've kind of like made all of the heroes into a policing force, and she manages to infiltrate them, trying to break them down. It's awesome. It's like I don't know even how to describe it. It's not even like everybody has X-Men-like powers. I don't know. You guys have heard about this. You know what it's like. I am terrible at summarizing things, so if you are interested, definitely pick it up. I highly recommend it, and the audiobooks were pretty good too. Next up, I have my June book of the month, and that is The Last Flight by Julie Clark. I'm really excited to pick this up. I know that it kind of falls into like a thriller suspense category, but it is about two women who end up switching places, going on to different flights. One of them is a politician's wife, and one of them is a girl with a troubled background. The politician's wife is trying to escape from an abusive husband, and I don't believe you know much about the girl's background, the other girl's background, but the plane that she goes on ends up crashing, so everybody believes that the politician's wife has actually died, and the politician's wife then has to take over the identity of the other girl and all of the issues that come with it. That's all I know from the synopsis. It sounds really cool. I don't know if that's going to follow through or not, but I'm really excited to find out. The next 3 books are actually all in the same series. I already posted my review for Ash Princess. I could not stop raving about it. I actually loved it, and I got the next 2 books in the series, and I can't wait to get around to them and find out what happens. I will be posting reviews for them as well, because I have heard that it just gets better and better and better, and I cannot wait to see if I agree. Next up, I have The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Mistborn trilogy, the first Mistborn trilogy. I read Mistborn a couple of months ago and I loved it, and I really can't wait to move on to the next book in the series and find out what Vin and the gang are all getting up to. Some stuff went down in the end of the first book, but it really kind of finished, I thought, so I want to know what the rest of the series is going to be about. And I know that a lot of the Brandon Sanderson fans that are on BookTube are like in love with the Mistborn trilogies, so I can't wait. This next book, I know that I'm going to butcher the author's name, and I apologize for that in advance, but it is Pride by Ibi Zoboi. I hope, maybe, hopefully. I don't know much about this. All I know is that it is like a Black retelling of Pride and Prejudice, and that's really all I need to know. I love Pride and Prejudice. It's one of my only favorite classics because I don't have that many classics that I've read, but I love that one. So I'm excited to see a retelling of it. This next book is going to be super popular to everybody on BookTube. I know that everybody's reading it right now. It is Slay by Brittany Morris. All I know is that it has to do with a video game in which somebody dies, and the creator of that video game, who I believe is a teenager, ends up like not getting accused, I don't think, of the person's death, but like her video game is being blamed for like this violent culture surrounding it. I hear it's been getting some good reviews, some not so good reviews, so I really want to see what it's about, because after Wildcard, I was like really in the mood for digital video game futuristic type styles of books, and so I really can't wait to see what I think of this. This next book is kind of fitting because The Babysitter's Club or whatever just came out on Netflix like last week, I think. And it is The Babysitter's Coven by Kate Williams. I mean, I guess it's like The Babysitter's Club meets Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and I don't really think that I need to hear anything else. I know that a lot of people were actually disappointed in this, so I am really interested to see what I think of it as well, because I loved The Babysitter's Club growing up, and I loved Sabrina the Teenage Witch, so it'll be really interesting to see how she does that. I've been purposely avoiding reviews because I didn't really want to color my opinion on it. And so we will see. We're almost to the end, guys, I promise. This is the second to last one. So the next one is Well Met by Jen DeLuca. I have had my eye on this since it came out last year, and I cannot wait. I hear that it's such a cute romance centered around a Ren Fair. Last but not least, we have Shadow and Flame by Mindy Arnett. I read Onyx and Ivory, I want to say earlier this year, or maybe like later, or earlier in the fall last year. I don't really remember. I read part of it on audiobook and part of it, I think it might have been for the Owls. I think it was in March, April. When did those happen? April? It was for the Owls. I read Onyx and Ivory and I really enjoyed it, and I actually really liked the audiobook as well, so I could not wait to get my hands on the sequel and find out what happens to them next. But essentially it follows Trader Kate, who her father ended up betraying their king and attempted to assassinate him. And he was killed in return, and she has to live with the stigma for that, and she's kind of just trying to survive. That's Onyx and Ivory. I don't actually know what happens in Shadow and Flame other than there's like a bit of rebellion. But yeah, so It'll be really cool to see where the gang picks up. There was a little bit of a rekindling of a romance happening in the first book, and so I can't wait to see where that goes in this one as well, because if you are not new to this channel, you know I am all about those romantic subplots. Okay, if you made it through that, thank you so much. That is the end of my birthday month book haul. I had a really great birthday month. Honestly, I cannot wait to read every single one of those books. I am also supposed to be getting a Once Upon a Book Club box today. That was a birthday present from my husband. He got me a 3-month subscription to Once Upon a Book Club, so I cannot wait for that to get here. But other than that, that is my birthday month book haul. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the like button down below and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!